Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is James, and in this video I want to tell you about how two lines from The Ones Who Live, episode 6, it keeps evil alive. And we've already talked about it here and there in the comments and different places, other videos a little bit. But I'll open up the discussion a little bit more, and of course we can open it up even further down in the comments. What were the two lines that keeps a bad guy, a potential threat in the future story of The Walking Dead? What were the two lines that kept that alive? One may be very obvious. If you guys remember, he talked about they have embeds and spies in these communities everywhere, possibly around the world. Will these people realize, oh, Major General Bill and the frontliners were killed? I'm just going to not say anything and just live my life and act like nothing ever happened. Or will one of them go, well, I'm going to go get revenge. I'm going to start an uprising. I'm going to get like-minded people together and, have a rebellion. Start a new group. Cause some havoc like terrorism. And it also opens up the potential to really say whatever they want or write whatever they want. Take the story, even past story, however they want to. For example, you could almost say anyone was an embed. People have said, oh, they can make Aaron be an embed. They can make this person be an embed or that person from fear, just anybody could almost be one. I don't think Aaron is one. But of course we saw PPP on the whiteboard and talked about it, the exemption. And then the only one that we've seen is the one that Tara found after Heath was missing. And, some people say, well, Heath could have dropped it. Yeah, he could have. But I just don't think he did. I think it was written in the sense that Jadis did because she did have that connection to CRM. So she was the exemption. She's the one that had the card. She accidentally dropped it, I guess, while they were taking Heath to trade for supplies. So in that sense, we put two and two together and say that's what the PPP cards are. If the echelon briefing, what they were saying in it happened, and CRM started going across the country, marching across the country, just wiping everybody out, all these little communities, 100% as they go. And they probably wouldn't really be marching. They'd probably be dropping gas on all these places. Somehow, some way, they would get the word in that, hey, we're about to destroy the community, so you need to get you yourself and any of the people that you might see like-minded or bees or whatever they're after, smart people, you need to get those people out. We're about to march through the country. But he said pretty much all over the country, all over the world possibly, so that's a lot. That's a big potential story in the making. You could pretty much make so many different things. There's so many directions you could go. There's so many people you could retcon into saying, well, he was part of it or whatever. Whole new stories you could really create. You could follow a person from the get-go of the apocalypse in a series, another spin-off or something, or even a Tales episode, something like that. And as they go through the apocalypse, they get with this group, that group. Finally, somehow, they get recruited by the CRM, and suddenly they're an embed. And we follow them all the way through that process, maybe. There's just a huge opening, a huge way that they could take that story if they wanted to. And they could include it inside other stories like Daryl Dixon or even Dead City. So what was the other big threat, the other big thing? I said there were two lines. The other line that Major General Bill said that humanity pretty much has 14 years because of, and he said the Delts, the huge millions of the dead. So that's an issue. But not only just the dead themselves, but they're carrying disease and possibly new diseases are forming. It's just like he was talking about that. So there's disease, there's starvation. And if you look at the entire series, we've had disease as an enemy back at the prison. We've had starvation an enemy pretty much every season here and there. Lack of weapons, lack of finding bullets and things like that. We have these little side things that seem to be threats, seem to be things that are hindering, the survivors. But the huge hordes of walkers that are still out there, along with starvation and disease, that's a whole thing in itself as well. It may not be exciting as fighting other groups or, trying to take down Major General Bill or whatever, but maybe it could be. But that's just something they can include in the story. That's a big threat, possible threat. The horde is definitely a real threat, and all those spies and embeds are definitely a potential threat as well. And really, you could say, even if they don't have a spinoff, even if they don't show us any of this stuff anymore, it's very potential that The world of The Walking Dead is going to have to suffer that, is going to have to deal with that anyway. You could almost say this stuff is going to happen. It's a problem. It really is. It is right now. They're going to have to deal with it. It's not like, well, they could write this stuff in future stories. I mean, it is the future. Those spies are out there. Those millions of Walking Dead are out there. Starvation is a very real threat. Disease is a definite threat. But hey, you guys let me know your theories, thoughts, and all that stuff, of course, what you think about it down in the comments below. And you know I'll join you there. This is James in Nashville. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more dead stuff.